You're watching Business Access TV.
Business Access.
Business Access.
Business Access.
Business Access.
You are watching Business Access TV.
Business Access TV.
Serious about business.
Serious about business.
Since 1999, the Sagicor Sigma Corporate Run has been contributing millions of dollars to the health and welfare of Jamaican children. The event has become the largest 5K in the Caribbean, and thousands of people converge in New Kingston to participate in this event. Business Access TV is here, and I'm Javon Keys, and my co-host Jamila Maitland will join us a little later on. As you can tell, the sun is already out and the race is already underway.
What was the extent of planning that went into executing an event like this?
We've been planning Sigma for about a year now. The last 3 weeks are probably the most hectic of all, but you know, we have over 300 volunteers that contribute to the success of this, including our sponsors. The group marketing department is the engine behind Sigma Run, and I mean, it's the hardest job we do all year, but it's the most rewarding as well. As you can imagine, there are several lists of persons who are in need, and basically the Sagicor Foundation board eventually makes the ultimate decision, but the decision is made mostly on the need of each of the beneficiaries, who has the greatest need. We tend to focus a lot on health and the health of children for the Sigma Run. So over the years, we've supported lots of neonatal units, a lot of companies or hospitals that support children as well. So that is a major part of the decision making when it comes to choosing the beneficiaries, but the ultimate decision is made by the board of the Sagicor Foundation. Dearest to our heart, I think, this year is the Lupus Foundation. Our Startline MC died from lupus, and so we felt that the Lupus Foundation would have been a good beneficiary to have this year. The Diabetes Foundation is also one of our beneficiaries. We don't pay a lot of attention to diabetes in Jamaica, so we decided that they would be also a good option, you know, for us to support. They need the support, they need some backing, and the Maypen Hospital neonatal unit, we have been there, we visit the hospitals, and we have seen I wouldn't call it deplorable, but there is great need in our public health system. And so I think, you know, those are all very deserving charities this year, and Sagicor is happy to stand behind them. I think we did a pretty good execution. We had a clean execution. I can't complain. There is no way to avoid the hours. We try our best. I mean, every year we try to do something a little different, set up the start line a little earlier, you know. But we have a lot of support. We have a lot of support from our sponsors. We have a lot of support from the technical people around us. I think we did a pretty smooth, not perfectly flawless, but we did a very good execution. We're proud of what we did. We're happy it's over. 27,000 people registered here, the most in the history of Sigma, and we've also raised the most we've ever raised, 52 odd million for our charities. So we're pleased. We think we did a good job. You can still donate. You can visit the Sagicor Sigma Run website, or you can call the Sagicor Foundation 1-888-SAGICOR and ask how you can donate. That is the number for our contact care center. They will put you onto the Sagicor Foundation, and you can still make a donation after today.
So with me now is one of the celebrity faces for the Sigma Corporate Run, Mr. Johan Blake. How are you, sir?
I'm feeling good this morning.
So share with us, why did you choose to contribute to the Sagicor Sigma Corporate Run?
You know, the first time I contributed, Sagicor made the highest money, and they know that I have good luck, so they brought me back. And I'm here not just because of that, but to save life. It's a great cause for me to walk with Sagicor on this long journey.
So what would you say to other persons who may be thinking about contributing?
I said, don't think, just act.
Thanks for staying tuned to BATV's coverage of the Sagicor Sigma Corporate Run 2019, the largest 5K in the Caribbean. Stay tuned for more happenings.
There's only one recommendation for funding that is ever going to come from me, and that is funding from a bank.
This is the cost
to build, and it includes every nail and screw for the building.
Our motto is building communities, building a nation.
Get in the know with the world of real estate with Business Access TV's Home Sweet Home, Sundays at 4:30 p.m.
Your business matters. Business Access TV offers you the most innovative and effective advertising solution for your business, specializing in B2B sales, cost-effective solutions, the customers you want, the repetition you need. No matter the size and nature of your company, your business matters.
Call us at 876-291-6233 or 876-376-4225. Email sales@batvja.com.
Caring Hands Season 3 continues to effect change in a changing environment.
Many of us were raised by grandmothers, right? So, I mean, we know the wisdom that these people have.
Going beyond business.
The little leaders of today are our leaders of tomorrow. And with the proper education, we'll have very good leadership coming from that.
That's Season 3 of Caring Hands, creating change and shaping lives every Sunday at 5:30 p.m. on Business Access TV.
We're here with Dayton Lawton, who was one of the very first contestants to finish the race. What was your perception going into the race?
Well, I do this race every year, and I'm always happy to do it. I think Sagicor has done a great job growing the race every year. It's 27,000 contestants ran this year. The management was great, and I felt good running this race today. Chris and the CEOs of Sagicor in the past have always been very astute about what they're doing with the money. So it's not just giving to a cause and you don't find out how these funds are actually being utilized. You shared a story about going to the hospital and giving them ventilation machines for infants. And it's always very important to understand how your money is benefiting the community.
What would you say to somebody who probably missed this year's Sagicor?
If you missed it and you can't be here, I would say still contribute. You don't necessarily need to run, but if you have an opportunity to give towards a cause.
So how was the race?
Apart from the bobbing and weaving, it was absolutely wonderful. You can see we're out of breath.
So tell us, why was it important for you and your team to come out to support the Sigma Corporate Run?
It's a part of our corporate social responsibility. We believe in giving back. We sell gas and we rely on the public to support our business, and we believe in giving back. So we thought this was a worthy cause to do that.
Well, this is my 5th time doing Sigma, and I didn't really train, but it was okay. Yeah, started Jamaica.
And you? I started Jamaica. It was fun, and even though it's my first time, I enjoyed it a lot.
Run was wonderful. It's my once-a-year exercise, and I've been doing this for the past 5 years. I think it was good, so that's it for my exercise for the year.
It's my first time, and it's a really great experience. You know, I'm a track and field athlete, so I'm just preparing for a wonderful season.
Of course, adults are not the only persons who participate in Sagicor's Sigma Corporate Run. We also have the children. Could you tell us, what do you think about the race?
I think it was long and it was very tiring, but I managed to finish.
You're here with your siblings. What do they think of the race?
Well, it was tiring. I do track and field, but this was really exhausting, and my legs hurt now. So.
Nice. What was your position in the race? Do you know?
Well, the race was all right. But I gave up a few times, but I still made it.
Nice, thank you.
Guys, they're representing the Jamaicans for Justice. How was the race for you?
You know, it was all right. A bit disappointed this year, but you know, next year we're coming back bigger and better. Time of about 37, not feeling too happy about that, but you know, still good.
How about you?
Well, it was good, but I was expecting sub 30, but 33, 42. Could have been better though.
Of course, other than the fact that we're supporting the hospital project, I have to be running today because we're running for a cause. We all ran for justice today. And of course, I know my time is going to be very impressive. It's below 30. I'm not quite sure what the time is just for. But of course, we came out and we ran for justice, and I'm very pleased for that today.
So the Lupus Foundation will be one of the beneficiaries of the Sagittarius Sigma Run this year.
It's awesome. Like every year they go for something different. And this year we're doing this for Elva. We're doing this for the people who lost the fight and who's still going on and still pushing basically.
What do you say to somebody who probably doesn't know much about Sagittarius Corporate Run and the beneficiaries and what it is that they're going for? What would you tell somebody?
Even if you don't run, just go ahead. Pay the money, make a donation, buy something. Like my lace, I just went ahead and just bought the shoelace just because.
Tell us what you thought about the race.
So it was a very good race and I really appreciated it. It's always good to run for charity because helping other persons, that's the way to go, And it was a really good race for me. I really did more than what I expected. So it's an awesome one.
Going into the race, what was your perception and what do you think after?
Funnily enough, I thought this was a 5K and at the end I realized it was a 5.5. So at that point I was really beat. But it was an awesome feeling and it's great to be supporting this cause. Big ups to Sagicor. I look forward to the next 5K.
One of the top running athletes last year. What was your perception coming into the race this year?
Well, I didn't think I was going to make it, honestly, but I decided I really wanted to do it and to do it better. But I thought that this year the race seemed shorter, so I must have got some extra energy, which I don't know what it came from, where it came from.
The race is more like a fitness for you, or is it something that you normally do every year?
I've done it 3 years. This is my 3rd year, but I do a lot of walking every day.
So did you actually run with the babies on you like this?
About 2.5 Ks. Look what it says here.
Was that daddy's cardio?
Yeah.
All right, so what do you think about the race?
It was fabulous. The water stops were strategically placed. Everything went well. First time for the babies, about the 5th time for me.
That was a short bit from some of the runners and walkers here at the 2019 Sagittarius Sigma Run. Stay with us for more highlights.
It's season 12 and Wealth Magazine Business Access is here to keep you business savvy. With an impressive mix of some of Jamaica's most inspiring business moguls, we continue to keep Jamaica informed, empowered, and ready to dominate. Tune in Sundays at 5 p.m. only on BATV.
You're watching
Business Access.
Business Access.
Business Access.
Business Access TV.
Serious about business.
Ready for cable for as little as $100? Ready for no monthly cable bill? Ready for 10 TV channels absolutely free? Then pick up our Ready TV box at authorized stores for $4,500. Hook it up to your TV set, then top it up with Ready Credit for 1, 7, or 30 days. Buy now and get $1,000 free Ready Credit and start watching your favorite shows. Pick it up, hook it up, top it up. Ready TV. Prepaid cable TV when you're ready. Now serving Kingston and St. Catherine. Limited time offer while stocks last. Conditions apply.
Our women are the backbone of our society. They deserve to be protected and respected. Domestic violence is not okay. Speak up and speak out. No more violence against women.
So as you would imagine, a number of groups would have come out to participate in the 2019 Sagittarius Sigma Corporate Run. We're about to hear from some of them. All right, so Jay, so what size team you have here today? Did the whole office come out?
Well, approximately 50% of our staff. We have in excess of 30 people here today from JAA.
Great, so why was it important for you guys to come out and support this cause?
Well, for one, JN Group overall has been a long-standing supporter of Sigma and the Jamaica Automobile Union Association. We specialize in mobility and moving people. So we want to ensure that our people are moving as well.
How is this in line with your corporate social responsibility?
Well, we are about giving back, and the cause of the whole Sigma is about giving back, so it falls in line with what we are about.
So with me now is Suzette Morrison. She's the team captain with the Wisynco Group. So tell us, why was it important for Wisynco to participate in the Sigma Corporate Run 2019?
Well, the Sigma Corporate Run signifies helping other companies and helping the sick and needy. And Wisynco being the innovators, we always want to ensure that we play our corporate role and a corporate social responsibility to be a part of the good.
So did you run this morning?
No, unfortunately, I was here setting up to ensure that the team was okay, and they came out, 150 strong. We came out and we participated, and they had fun.
This definitely is a worthy cause, and giving back is an important thing for corporate companies such as ourselves. So participation and support for the obvious cause is very important.
Seems like you have a very large team. What's the number?
I think we're over 120 thereabout.
For me, it was a walk in the park.
Very easy, very easy.
How important was it for you to participate in this run?
Well, we do it for a cause, we do it every year, and we think it is extremely relevant at this time.
Plus, it also helps us to remain healthy.
All right, so there you have it from some of our educators representing the JTA here at the Sagicor Sigma Corporate Run 2019. So after having such an early start this morning, Jamila and I were just getting a chance to catch up. So from what I've been seeing, the race has been going very good. There are thousands of people out. It's probably the largest year of Sigma Corporate Run, because for the years I've been seeing it, every year it gets bigger and better, right, Jam?
A little birdie actually told me that it's actually 27,000 persons who registered, and they might have even passed their $52 million mark.
Well, but that's great, because Sagicor Sigma Corporate Run is all about corporate social responsibility and helping to ensure the welfare of our nation's children. So it's always a great cause. Number of companies out, a number of groups, a number of individuals. We saw persons from different ages, from very small to very old, and they're going. So it was a good day, wouldn't you agree?
Of course it was. It really, I can't believe. I think the entire Jamaica is here right now at Emancipation Park.
Certainly, Jam, it was an extraordinary morning. Though we had to wake up very early to be here. It was great, right?
It really was.
All right, so we're going to take a break right now, and then we're going to head to the stage to see our winners for the 2019 Sagicor Sigma Corporate Run. Stay tuned.
Have you seen it? It's BATV Live. Live streams of business news weekdays at 7:30 p.m. Stay on point Thursdays at 8 p.m. with our Business Current Affairs show, and Weekend Business Report Saturdays at 7:30 p.m. wherever you are. Log on to our Facebook page at Business Access TV or visit our website at batvja.com. Live and at your fingertips. Business Access TV. Serious about business.
Brings the creative industries to life. Delighting creatives in different fields each week. Art.
My life turns art. I breathe, I eat art.
Fashion. Food.
Without a customer, we're nothing but four walls.
Music. Film. Cameo. Only on Business Access TV.
So Ms. Walker, tell us, why does Sagicor keep doing this every single year since 1999?
So it has been 21 years that Sagicor Foundation has been solidly behind the charities to really give back. Healthcare is a big thing for our brand, and we always want to find and identify those needs that really have a big impact on Jamaican lives. So this year we've identified the Diabetes Foundation of Jamaica, Lupus Foundation of Jamaica, and also the Mapen Hospital, specifically the neonatal intensive care unit.
Have you been seeing the impact of the contributions you've been making?
Oh yes, we have. Certainly over the years we've made so many different contributions to various different sectors in the health area, and also in terms of children. We do support children causes as well. Last year we supported St. Christopher's Home for the Deaf. We supported the Spanish-owned hospital. So we try to touch every single pocket of the Ministry of Health as well, because that is a major area that really impacts a lot of Jamaicans' lives on a daily basis.
So, first of all, I would ask, why focus on children?
I mean, the children are the future. It's cliche, but it's actually real. If we actually focus on our children and we actually focus on the future and making that future so much better, brighter for our children. Now, we can't be selfish. We always have to continue to pay it forward, and so that we know that Jamaica will be a better place.
So how do you rate 2019 for the Sagicor Sigma run?
Oh God, 2019 has been amazing. It has been awesome. It has been off the chain. So this year we've broken 2 records. So last year we had a record-breaking 26,000 participants. This year we've got up to 27,000 persons. And also we shattered our record in terms of the target. So our target last year was 50 million. This year it's 52, and we went over a bit. So we did $52,400,000. So we are absolutely proud as a team to be able to give back so much to Jamaica.
Certainly. So what can we expect for 2020?
I mean, we're going to start planning right now, and in true Sagicor strong style, we're going to come bigger, we're going to come better, and we're always going to be looking for that next needy cause. And there's so many causes in Jamaica that need the funding and need the support. So look out for us, we're coming.
Congratulations to the winner, Alfonso Cunningham. On the clap of Alfonso, please.
How does it feel to become the first place winner for the male wheelchairers in the Sagicor Sigma run this year?
It's a great feeling, but I'm doing Sigma for a couple of years now. So to be, the winner this time around again, it's a wonderful feeling. And I'm happy I'm doing it for, a worthy cause and so forth. So that's why I try to push out the necessary effort to be here.
Put your hands together. Sylvia, we're friends long time. Long time, Sylvia. Congratulations.
You placed first this year and last year, 5 years in a row. So tell me, how does that feel? What level of training or intensity of the training does it feel?
We have a cart where we run, we push it like we and run it in the grass every day.
How important is it for persons to participate in runs like these?
It's good because when we're out there, people can see us and see that anything they can do, we can do it too.
Describe to us, what's the feeling becoming the first place winner of this year's Sagicor Sigma run?
It's a great feeling, and this is my second year doing it.
Would you describe to us, what was the run in general? What did you like about it? What you didn't like about it?
I like the fun run part. We have the foam and all those stuff, and the fact that we're supporting charities. So yeah, it was a good run.
What was your time?
19 minutes and 2 seconds.
Male overall, this time ridiculous. 19 minutes 32 seconds. Will the clap of Caroline, please? Hello, hi.
I came 4th overall and 2nd for corporate.
Everybody just give me
I represent
clap,
Separate Limited, and this is not my first event, but it's a wonderful event. I enjoyed it.
We are here with Odain Davison, the first place winner in the under 16 category. Tell us, how does it feel?
It is hard, yeah, very hard. And yeah, I get competition in it, and yeah, it was a good race.
Is this your first time doing it, and what's your time?
I don't know my time yet, but it's not the first time I'm doing it.
My name is Anna K. Swaby, and I'm representing Chiselfit, and I came first in the female walk.
How was that for you?
It was, I'm going to be honest with you, it was a bit challenging, but I managed to maneuver the crowd and came first. So it was very good, but challenging.
So clearly this isn't your first time doing a 5K walk, because it's like a particular technique, right?
No, it hasn't been my first 5K, but my first Sigma. And my goal was just come here, come first. That was it.
But separate and apart from you coming to compete, I'm sure there must be another reason why you came here to represent.
Of course, there's another reason. The number one reason, of course, is doing it for the cause. That's the most important thing. So me coming first is just a bonus, right? So just going out there, doing what I can do for those persons who can't do it themselves, and hoping that I inspire somebody else to come on out and support the cause.
So you said this was your first year. Will we see you next year?
Of course.
So I know that this is something that you do. We saw you at the True Juice Orchards last year, and you're here again. How was this one for you?
Well, this one was a record break when walk for me. You know, I'm improving each year, and I really came out here to get the record of 28 minutes. I did it, and I'm very happy. I'm looking for greater things, and I want to see myself out there representing Jamaica internationally. This is my third year winning it also. The first year, 2017, I did 30 minutes. Last year, 29. This year, 28.
So will you be back next year?
Definitely. All things being well.
All right, thank you so much and congratulations. As much as we didn't get a chance to run, we actually finished the race, right, Jam?
We did.
So that brings us to the end of our 2019 coverage of the Sagicor Sigma Corporate Run. I've been your host, Javon Keys.
And I'm Jamila Maitland.
And you've been tuned into Business Access TV. Serious about business.
The Good Life, your trusted source for useful health and wellness information, lifestyle tips for the mind, body, and soul. Tune in Tuesdays at 8:30 p.m. on Business Access TV.
I do have a dream, and I know you have a dream, that we can make Jamaica the place of choice for you to choose to live, to work, to do business.
We are going for the Jamaica we want. Making steady progress to achieve the Sustainable Development Goals in our National Development Plan, Vision 2030 Jamaica. We have teamed up with valued partners, working through strong institutions to reduce inequalities in our society. We commit to being responsible in our production and consumption, ensuring we build sustainable communities in harmony with nature. Jamaica is making significant strides in providing quality, lifelong education for all, enabling our people to be engaged in decent work to drive economic growth, equipping men and women with the skills to build resilient infrastructure, promote sustainable industry, foster innovation, and utilize new technologies. Urgent action is being taken to manage natural resources responsibly, protecting clean water sources, ensuring access to water and sanitation for all, diversifying to alternative energy sources, conserving our environment and sustaining life below water and on land. Jamaica is making moves to ensure healthy lifestyles for the well-being of our people. We're promoting sustainable agriculture to achieve food security, improve nutrition, and end extreme hunger, putting in the work to end poverty in all its forms. We're on track in achieving our Sustainable Development Goals through realizing our Vision 2030 Jamaica. We will leave no one behind.
And I'm chilling right now, cause we're winning right now.
Hi there. The Heroes Weekend has passed and we're back to regular programming. We're so glad you have joined us. Between the pages today, important details on intellectual disability, plus reading more with our children. There's also the news of the day as well as a few messages. I'm Theodore Henry and this is Jamaica Magazine. It unfolds right now.
Good day, I'm Lorraine Mendez and this is your JIS News for Tuesday, October 22. 215 individuals were formally recognized for their contributions to national development yesterday during the annual ceremony of investiture and presentation of national honors and awards. The National Heroes Day function was once again held on the lawns of King's House. Heading this year's list of recipients was Professor Gerald Cecil Layler, who was awarded the Order of Merit for his application of science, technology and innovation and service to the public and private sectors. In his absence, Professor Layler's award was collected by his son. Other notable honorees include Minister without Portfolio in the Office of the Prime Minister Mike Henry, who is one of 5 persons conferred with the Order of Jamaica. The others are renowned reggae singer Dr. Alfarita Constantia Rita Marley, former Minister and Member of Parliament for St. Catherine Northwest, Robert Pickersgill, Dr. Julius Winston Garvey, son of National Hero the Right Excellent Marcus Mosiah Garvey, and Jamaica Broilers Group Chairman Robert Levy. Comedian and actor Glenn Titus Campbell was met with deafening applause as he was announced to receive the Order of Distinction in the rank of officer. He was among 40 persons being awarded in this group and one of several recognized with various awards for their contribution to the entertainment field. They include international recording artist Sean Paul Henriquez and the late reggae singer Jacob Miller, who were both among 41 persons to receive the Order of Distinction in the rank of Commander. 2 Jamaicans, Tamar Delise Blake and Susan Foster, who risked their lives to save others, were awarded the Badge of Honor for gallantry. While 2 members of the Jamaica Defence Force, the late Lance Corporal Ricardo Bennett and Lance Corporal Ferdinand Trench, were awarded the Medal of Honor for gallantry. 23 persons were awarded with the Badge of Honor for meritorious service, while 30 received the Badge of Honor for long and faithful service. In the category of Medal of Honor for meritorious service, 71 persons from the Jamaica Defence Force, Jamaica Constabulary Force, Department of Correctional Services and Jamaica Fire Brigade were awarded. This Heroes Weekend also witnessed the country paying tribute to one of its sports icons with the unveiling of Veronica Campbell-Brown's statue in the Independence Park complex. During Saturday's ceremony, Prime Minister Andrew Holness said the statue of the Olympian should serve as inspiration for Jamaicans to advance prosperity on the island.
VCB dreamt of glory, and she attained it. Dreams are achievable. Yet, even if they sometimes appear to be somewhat elusive, dare to dream anyway. Populate your thoughts with positive images of triumph, and even if you fall, pick yourself up and keep on running.
To be remembered and commemorated for my contribution to Jamaica's rich history in this unique way is an absolute blessing and a gesture that I greatly appreciate.
Government has now provided close to $50 million worth of relief supplies for 47 farmers in Flagman, St. Elizabeth who suffered losses during a fire in August. The fire affected more than 200 acres of farmland and resulted in losses estimated at $45 million. Government support includes supplies valued at over $14.3 million. Some of the supplies were handed over by State Minister of Industry, Commerce, Agriculture and Fisheries Floyd Green during a ceremony at the Pedro Plains Anglican Church Hall in St. Elizabeth on Friday.
When we came and saw the devastation, we decided that we have to quickly get to work because Flagaman is too important a community to allow it to not be able to produce. Flagaman has the most registered farmers in any community in Jamaica.
The supplies to the farmers include 28 black tanks, irrigation fixtures, more than 100 bags of fertilizer, and a variety of seeds. The farmers have also been provided with more than 30 truckloads of guinea grass to be used for mulching.
And if you look around, you will see that our farmers have already put the guinea grass to use. Our farmers here in Flagaman, despite the drought conditions, despite not having water, have perfected the art of using mulching to ensure that the crops grow.
The state minister says the affected farmers are expected to resume full production, which should augur well, particularly for the Christmas season. National Security Minister Dr. Horace Chang says amendments to the Proceeds of Crime Act will enhance the country's investigative efficiency while complying with international laws on anti-money laundering and terrorist financing. The Caribbean Financial Action Task Force Mutual Evaluation Report of 2017 made 40 recommendations aimed at addressing money laundering and terrorist financing. According to Dr. Chang, Jamaica was partially compliant with 21 and non-compliant with 2 of the recommendations. He says the country must address the compliance deficiencies or risk being locked out of the international financial system. The Security Minister adds that the amendments will also better secure the local financial system.
In a bid to protect the integrity of the economy, it's important that the government of Jamaica ensure that a robust framework exists to identify and prevent criminal elements from utilizing the legitimate financial system for their own benefit and in strengthening our criminal organization.
Dr. Horace Chang was speaking in Parliament last Tuesday as the House began debate on amendments to the Proceeds of Crime Act. And finally, the Electoral Office of Jamaica, EOJ, will be embarking on a national voter identification card renewal exercise as of Monday, November 4. While this is being done, the life of the current ID cards will be extended until December 2020 to allow for a smooth transitional process from the old card to the new one.
We are encouraging all entities, be it banks, financial institutions, government entities, and private business to continue to accept the voter ID cards, while the new cards are phased in over the next year.
Director of Elections Glasspool Brown was speaking at a recent JIS think tank. In addition to the 63 constituency offices island-wide, 272 card renewal centers will be temporarily established to assist with the process. A list of the renewal centers will be made available on the EOJ website.
We are encouraging all registered voters with ID cards issued 2015 and earlier to visit any EOJ constituency office or voter ID renewal center. Also, all electors who have cards which was issued date between 2016 and 2019 will not need to visit the EOJ office for renewal. These new cards, their new card that is, will be printed, and these electors will be notified when they are ready.
And that's it for JIS News today. I'm Lorraine Mendez. Thanks for watching.
Women are diagnosed with cervical cancer each year. The risk of developing these abnormal changes is associated with the infection of HPV. Not only that, early sexual contact, multiple sexual partners, and taking oral contraceptives increases your risk of developing cervical cancer. Ladies, protect yourself. Get tested. It is better to be aware than to be living in absolute fear.
Next, the latest happenings out of the office of the Prime Minister.
Contract signed for $9.5 billion Catherine Estates, $59 million Chesterfield Bridge opens, and House of Representatives approves extension for 5 parish states of emergency. You're watching Jamaica House Weekly. I'm Anthony Morgan.
I encourage all Jamaicans to plant a tree in your surroundings today.
and add your voice and action to the millions of enlightened citizens around the world mobilized individually in their locale to protect and preserve their environment and build resilience to climate change.
Prime Minister Andrew Holness's rallying call to Jamaicans on National Heroes Day. He urged citizens to protect our heritage, a great legacy, by being a hero of the environment. Mr. Holness also participated in the National Honours and Awards function at King's House on Monday. Later in the evening, the Prime Minister thanked Mike Henry for his service to Jamaica. Minister Henry was earlier in the day conferred with the Order of Jamaica. Before that, Prime Minister was present for Saturday's unveiling of a statue in honor of Olympian Veronica Campbell-Brown. The statue is mounted at the Independence Park complex in Kingston. Mr. Holness lauded Campbell-Brown for being an inspiration to Jamaica.
Moments like these form part of the platform for us to engage with each other and commit to the transformation of our country. It is proof that there are no challenges we cannot overcome once we set our minds to it and work assiduously in unity.
Early in the last week, the Prime Minister signed a $9.5 billion contract to develop Catherine Estates at Bernard Lodge in St. Catherine. The new community will have 1,650 studio and one-bedroom units, a new primary and high school, a church, police station, 2 large parks and commercial buildings. To be done in 6 phases and in 14 clusters, studio units will be sold for $5.5 million, and the one-bedrooms will go for $6.6 million. Catherine Estates is being managed by the Housing Agency of Jamaica, with China Harbour Engineering Company being hired as the contractor. At Tuesday's launch, Mr. Holness reminded potential residents that government would be monitoring and imposing strict covenants on the development.
The government has to take a stand as we build out more communities, because what we are finding is when you allow the community to deteriorate, then it becomes a safe harbor for crime and social deviance.
In the House of Representatives Tuesday, the Prime Minister received parliamentarians' approval to extend the states of emergency now operating in 5 parishes across the island. The St. James, Hanover and Westmoreland special security measure will continue until January 27, 2020, while operations in St. Catherine and Clarendon will remain in place until January 18 next year. As he sought the extensions, Mr. Holness told the House that since the imposition of the states of emergency across the 5 parishes, there had been marked reduction in murders and shootings, an increase in the recovery of firearms and ammunition, as well as multiple arrests and charges. Despite the successes, the Prime Minister said Westmoreland, Hanover and St. James accounted for 20% of murders, and St. Catherine and Clarendon recorded 27% of murders nationally.
There needs to be a national approach in tackling the problem. It's not only a crime-fighting problem. There is the underlying issue of why it is that violence is being used so often to resolve conflicts.
And while still in Parliament, Mr. Holness announced that there would be a relaxing of closing times in the St. Andrews South Police Division. This, he said, would be similar to the 7 a.m. to 11 p.m. opening hours, now in effect for the St. Catherine and Clarendon states of emergency. Prime Minister Holness also agreed to revert to normal business opening hours in the states of emergency around the Christmas period.
To allow people to enjoy the season. It is not the intention of the government to take away the enjoyment of the people.
By Wednesday, Mr. Holness was in Bernard Lodge, St. Catherine to break ground for CarMed Group's $6 billion complex. The 258,000 square foot facility will house all aspects of the company's consumer goods division.
We need more Jamaicans like Glenn to take a risk on Jamaica, to create more employment for Jamaicans and to expand the Jamaican economy.
Wednesday also saw the Prime Minister traveling to St. Mary for the opening of the $59 million Chesterfield Bridge. Mr. Holness updated the gathering on progress being made on the Junction Road Improvement Project. He said though the $626 million set aside to repair the road was inadequate, plans were in train to continue works on the thoroughfare.
It is our intention to widen and straighten the Junction Road going right back down to Stony Hill. We plan to do that. It can't be done overnight, but we are committed to in sections and phases and as our budget can carry it.
Back in Kingston Thursday, Mr. Holness attended the first in a series of meetings to build national consensus around crime and violence on the island. Those talks involved government ministers, the opposition, and civil society.
I'm confident that we have the capacity as a people to set aside political differences, to temper the political contest around the issue, and come up with solutions very quickly to solve this seemingly intractable problem. Fontana Waterloo is evidence of the buoyancy of the Jamaican economy.
Prime Minister Holness Thursday as he opened the 6th Fontana Pharmacy branch called Fontana Waterloo Square. The multi-story complex is expected to hire over 100 Jamaicans. During the opening, Mr. Holness shared government's commitment to tackling climate change and addressing national security.
We are making the right allocative decisions based upon our priorities, and that will strengthen our ability to respond to these serious threats.
Mr. Holness spent some time Tuesday with a delegation from the Jamaica Customer Service Association. On the same day, he held talks with chairman of the RJ Gleaner Group, Joseph Matalon. And that's it for Jamaica House Weekly. I'm Anthony Morgan. Join us next time for more of the news stories coming out of the Office of the Prime Minister.
Intellectual disability is often difficult to detect in comparison to other forms of disabilities. Coming up, caregivers of those diagnosed with the disability offer some valuable advice. Watch this.
My name is Nadine Barrett and my son is Lance Barrett. Lance is a child with intellectual disability and he is also diagnosed with cerebral palsy. Lance was born a 7-pound, 5-ounce baby, 3 months in his life. He wasn't talking, well, 3 months don't talk, but he wasn't crawling around, he wasn't sitting up, he would smile, and I know something was wrong. I can remember this one time, even to this day I spoke about it, tears come to my eye. A doctor came and she was like, "Mommy, this child not going to live to see 2." But my motto is, I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me.
I'm Nefi Shiva and I'm a person with intellectual disability, and I used to also come to the School of Hope, Randolph Lopez School of Hope. And then I graduated at the age of 18 years old. But he keep on coming up by Jade to tell him that I can't get any work, and then after they call me and tell me that there's a position here for as a janitor work. First time when I just started, I used to think that I couldn't do the work before, but now I see that it's something that I can able to do, and like because it's use my hands is not really like using the brain.
Intellectual disability is characterized by significant limitations in both intellectual functioning and in adaptive behavior. For instance, in communication, daily living, and social skills. The disability usually originates before the age of 18.
One of the features of intellectual disability is that the persons will have below average IQ. Average IQ is about 100, right? Below average would be anywhere between 70 to 75 and below.
Intellectual disability is diagnosed usually by a psychological assessment. This is inclusive of intelligence, adaptive or behavioral and educational tools done by a clinical educational psychologist. These tools are standardized instruments used specifically to identify levels in the areas of intellect and adaptive behavior. In addition, interviews with family and other relevant persons are done to elicit significant history and other data about functioning related to the persons being assessed. Intellectual disability must not be confused with mental disability.
The important thing is that, and we have to be cognizant of, is that research says that almost 50% of the causes of intellectual disability are unknown. We don't know.
Right up until today, I sit and wondered sometimes. It's like I tried to go back to the first time I remember that I was pregnant and what I did or what I didn't do or what. There's nothing that I can think of.
Intellectual disability is what they call an invisible disability. People tend to look for something physical. A lot of times there are no visible signs. And so parents tend to be in denial about the child not meeting the milestones, because they don't have a physical disability. So they tend to say, boy, nothing is wrong.
Believe me, it was hard. It was really, really hard. Because having a child that was normal, my daughter, and then having Lance and to hear that he has a disability, I was wondering, how am I going to cope?
There is a perception that people with intellectual disability have no sense and they can't do things, so that's a myth. So intellectual disability is really just limitations in intellectual functioning. They will learn, but they will do it much slower.
Jade helped me a lot because if it never for them, I wouldn't know what I would do.
This is a program that we manage in collaboration with the Ministry of Education, Information and Youth. We are in 13 of the 14 parishes, so we do have a national network. We have 5 main schools with their affiliate learning centers. Students within this program, they are from ages 6 years to 21 years. So it's really students and youth. They want to be integrated, they want to be included. All they need are opportunities. They'd love to be involved in employment. They'd love to be integrated in their communities. They want other people to see them as valuable members of society. They want to be loved. They want to belong to groups as well. And so even leisure and community activities, they want to be a part of that. And if we're moving into the whole realm of including people, despite your challenges, that's the way we should do it in our communities.
You're not to always listen to what people say about a disability, because if you keep on saying that you have a disability, it's going to put you down, and it's going to make you downgrade yourself and say that you can't do anything for yourself in life.
I look at Lance as a normal child. Before that anyway, I used to limit Lance in doing things. I stopped all of those. I allow Lance to come in the kitchen. He bakes, he cooks, he makes juice, he cut up vegetable. So the only thing that he does not do at home or anywhere else is walk as yet. And I put it as yet because I still have hope for my child.
Want more information on intellectual disability? Contact JADE. Their headquarters is at 7 Golding Avenue in Kingston. Also, you may call at 876-977-1118 or email jade@cwjamaica.com.
Mommy?
Yes, Zoe?
Can we read this book? It will only take 10 minutes.
Sure, sit down. Every spring, Madame Angel Wing arranges.
Do you have 10 minutes? Read with your child today. Reading with your children for just 10 minutes each day helps develop their language and listening skills, stimulates their imagination, and expands their understanding of the world. So, start reading with your child today.
Reading should go beyond social media posts. Reading expands knowledge and it transports the mind into the unknown. For these reasons and others, reading is encouraged, especially for students who should know more than just what's in their textbooks to improve critical thinking and expression. Next, getting our youngsters to read more.
I'm Janet Davids, teacher of grade 6 coordinator. Get them interested in the reading. Because you know, research has shown that over the years, as children get older, the interest and motivation in reading decreases. So as a grade 6 teacher, what I try to do is to encourage my students to read a wide variety of genres. Sometimes while I'm teaching, what I do is I bring in a little of what I've read in a book into my whole discussion, you know, like a teenager book. And then they will say, "Miss, you know that?" And I say, "Yes, because I read all types of books, and therefore you need to read all types of books." I think parents themselves must be readers. Parents must not allow the students to think that reading is a chore. You know, like sometimes when they're doing something bad and the parents say, "Go take up your book." No, it should be something fun. So they should find fun ways to read together with the children and read to them sometimes as well. And not just reading just one particular material, but a variety of materials so that they know that reading is not just a book. So those are some of the ways in which I try to pique their interest and get them interested in reading.
We've come to the end of the show for today. Catch us again tomorrow on this channel. Here's a reminder to send your feedback to Jamaica Magazine at jis.gov.jm. You may also connect with us on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. On behalf of the entire production team, I'm Theodore Henry. Thanks for watching.
This has been a production of the Jamaica Information Service, the voice of Jamaica.
Every day you wake up, you have another opportunity to make this little island better, safer, a place where we all can be proud to call home. It's time we all recognize that every little thing we do has an impact on the Jamaica we live in now and the country we're leaving for our children. So promise me this, promise yourself this. No more will we tolerate criminals, even if it's our relatives. Tell them they're doing something wrong. Tell them to stop. Tell them no more robbing our children of the Jamaica they deserve. Tell them no more. No more crime.
We are back with another exciting, innovative, and inspiring season.
It takes a lot of stick-to-itiveness, being consistent and persistent in whatever you're doing. That's the bottom line.
Business exists to add value to people's lives. And if we're not doing that, might as well lock down the store and just call it a day.
It's a season 3 of Creating Wealth, Mondays at 8 p.m. on Business Access TV.
They say it takes a village to raise a child, but the world will one day need the leadership of that child. The time you spend with your child matters. It stimulates their minds and shapes the way they act. Talk with your children. Help them to better understand the world around them and to value what is truly precious. Above all, the most valuable gift you can give them is love. Play, talk, teach, love. Take the time. It makes all the difference. A message from the Parenting Helpline and Ad Council Jamaica.
My name is Henry Lowe. I'm the executive chairman of the Eden Gardens group of companies. Henry Lowe is an ordinary Jamaican man who grew up in a very modest family background, family of 10 children, a father who started off as a merchant tailor, got robbed several times in his business and had to change over to become a policeman in the municipal services. Of course, my mother, with 10 children, you can well imagine my mother had to be on hand to manage the family affairs. As far as I'm concerned, she's a minister of finance. She managed to care for the family of 10 children and to ensure that if there were wants, there were never needs. And if the needs came, she would get rid of those needs. People from Kingston usually say, I'm from under the clock. I was born under the clock, yes, I was. And my father was from Gordon Town, which is just up the road from Papine, and my mother was from Cavaliers, which again is not too far, just Upper St. Andrew. And so I had relatives around. But in the early years, because of the size of my family, an aunt of mine, who we always lovingly called Aunt Dell, she was married to a policeman. And they had 2 children, and they were young boys, and since I was about maybe 5 years older, she wanted me to come to keep their company. So she asked that I come to live with her, and those were interesting days in my life because a number of things I can remember of interest. One is the fact that when I was in Port Antonio, where I started off living with her, it was at Titchfield, what we call elementary school at the time. And at Titchfield, like most schools at that time, children on a Friday had a choice of either doing gardening, dressmaking, or woodwork. And none of the 3 interested me, and most boys, of course. So we all decided that the best thing to do on a Friday afternoon when that came up was to, use the word skull school. Many people don't even know that word, but we would take off, and so we did. And there's a wharf by the old Titchfield Hotel, which was the hotel in Jamaica in those days, way back in the 50s. And this particular wharf, most of it got dismantled, but the piles were still there. And the leader of the pack, as it were, which was the smallest guy in the group, he said, let's us go for a swim at Titchfield. Now, as you know, if it's a wharf, the water would be very deep because boats and ships would come in. But when you look out, because the water is so crystal clear and nice, it didn't look like it was deep. So everybody said, let's go in and swim out. Well, I couldn't swim at the time. So I was carried out on this guy who was a leader on his back to the farthest point out. I wasn't afraid of anything. And since we know we shouldn't be out there swimming on a Friday, we should be at school, we know in those days the police would come and get us and take us home and we'd get whipped. So a boat was coming around, a speedboat, and they thought it was police. So everybody had to scamper to get out of there and leave before the police could arrive. So somebody called out, police, let's go. and everybody jumped off. I jumped off too, not remembering that I can't swim. But it was one of the strangest sensations that I ever experienced, because I started sinking. I saw where the shoreline was, and I was trying to see if I could move forward, but the mass of water was so great that I couldn't move, and I was sinking rapidly, but I never took in any water. And they realized what happened to me, and one of them, the same guy, he came back and he pulled me out and took me, and I never swallowed any water, or it was just amazing. And believe it or not, although I didn't swim then, I learned to swim. I don't know how. Next time I went to the beach, I was able to swim. I think I was very quiet. I don't think I ever gave my parents any problems. I was well disciplined. I worked hard, and I knew what I wanted to do. What is interesting is that my parents always thought that I was going to become a lawyer or a minister of religion, and those two were farthest from my real interest. From the earliest time I can remember, I said I wanted to be a scientist, without even really understanding what science was all about. But you know, when you're a child, people always ask, what do you want to be when you grow big? And I said, I want to be a scientist. And in 1 year, what would normally be a 2-year program, I got a sciences and did so well. I got a scholarship to University of the West Indies, where I did my first degree. I got my scholarship to UW. I don't know, but I believe I might be the only Jamaican who has ever had a double Commonwealth scholarship, one to Australia, Sydney University in Australia, and one to Manchester University, where I did my master's and my doctorate. And I've been to some of the other best places like MIT and Harvard, and I've done, academically, I've had a full exposure to most everything. And my interest in science grew since I did well at university too, and having completed my first degree and my master's and PhD, I knew where I wanted to go. But one commitment I had always was Jamaica is a poor country, and a scientist cannot be over-specialized. Science is a discipline, and you must use that to do whatever you can for your country. And I had a keen interest in the natural products, the plants and the animals, and how they can be utilized to create wealth for the country, which is my mission, and that's where I am now. Drug research and development is not cheap. To take a drug from discovery, first stage of discovery to market, it's usually between 1.5 and 2.5 billion US dollars. I came back to Jamaica after my training in England, and I made a commitment that this is for me to look at our medicinal plants or identify those plants that are not medicinal plants to see if they can move into this area. And I think the first big breakthrough we had was the ball moss, old man's beard, which I think everybody heard about, because where it grows in other countries, it's seen as a nuisance, and people spend millions of dollars trying to control it, not realizing that it has all these interesting properties, which I was the first one to discover. Anti-cancer products, neurological problems it can deal with. But you see, what we don't remember or appreciate being non-scientists or being in that field, drug research and development is not cheap. You can find out what the products can do, but to take them where they can be approved by the FDA or others, it's not easy. One can millions of dollars to just get there, hundreds of millions of dollars. Matter of fact, to take a drug from discovery, first stage of discovery to market, it's usually between 1.5 and 2.5 billion US dollars. This is why pharmaceuticals are so expensive. But then you only need one hit, just one success, and you're all set for life, whether you're a company or you're an individual. I think you might have heard that I'm the first, and I stayed proudly, black person to have had, as a scientist, not working for another company, because I don't know about those, but I set up my own research and development labs and did all the work, and got the FDA to designate one of our products that we got as an orphan drug. So we are trying to finish that research work to take it to market. So it is amazing the sort of things that can be done with commitment and hard work. I'm heavily involved in looking at the medicinal cannabis, or medicinal ganja as we call it. And like any other thing, it's also hard work. I was part of a team with Professor Manley West, who did the first work and produced the first commercial compound from cannabis or ganja. And of course, Dr. Lockhart was involved in it. But the important thing here is that Jamaica set the stage from 1972 with this discovery and action, and we're ahead of everybody else. But as you know, the US government clamped down and everything was held back until I think about 8 to 10 years ago, when after CNN stories on the medicinal potential of cannabis, that everything was revived, and I was asked to get involved again, and I took on the leadership. And I think we are going to be having a launch of 12 products, pharmaceutical products produced from cannabis. And I'm say proudly, we're the only ones to have done it. Cancer in the early days when I started working in the field was mainly impacting older people, not again. Lots of youngsters. And I think if we can make a difference, that's what we want to do, and that's my commitment. And I have lost 3 of my siblings with cancer. So I have more than enough reason to go after it and try to fight it and eliminate it. I've seen a lot of friends and others who have gone down with it. And I think it's the biggest challenge mankind has faced and will ever face. Every indication is there that some of the research that I've done are highly likely to create cures for cancer. One example of this, the orphan drug, which was approved by the FDA, US FDA, is all about treating leukemia, its potential to be a drug for leukemia. And we are now working on getting another orphan drug. We're working with Harvard University now, and in a very interesting type of way, because they developed a technology where particles. These are particles that you can't see. They're so tiny, but they can do fantastic things. This is called nanotechnology. Now, they've modified the nanotechnology to the point where they can latch on to a drug and deliver the drug directly into the cancer. And it destroys the cancer and you get no side effects at all. We're cutting edge. We're working with Harvard University on this, and we call this the drone technology. Remote control, it takes it directly to the site of action. That's something you're going to hear about, hopefully in the next 6 months. So we are not just doing little extractions, we are cutting edge science. And you see, a lot of these things Jamaica don't understand. We are not a country of science and we don't embrace science and technology, so we don't know enough about it. But without seeming to be boasting, when I mentioned that FDA recognition for the orphan drug, there's no other, as I said it and I'll repeat, there's no other black person in the world who has ever achieved this. Not even a developing country. It's only North America and Europe where they've got these orphan drugs. So, you know, it's something that we don't even recognize, we don't know, we don't appreciate. But then maybe one of these days we will grow up to appreciate a little bit more. Eden Gardens was set up in 1992 to promote health and wellness. And when it was set up at first, my friends, my family, everybody, crazy, what are you wasting your money doing this on? Who knows about health and wellness and why are you doing that?
Caring Hands Season 3 continues to effect change in a changing environment.
Many of us were raised by grandmothers, right? So, I mean, we know the wisdom that these people have.
Going beyond business.
The little leaders of today are our leaders of tomorrow. And with the proper education, we'll have very good leadership coming from that.
That's Season 3 of Caring Hands, creating change and shaping lives, every Sunday at 5:30 p.m. on Business Access TV.
Your business matters. Business Access TV offers you the most innovative and effective advertising solution for your business, specializing in B2B sales, cost-effective solutions, the customers you want, the repetition you need. No matter the size and nature of your company, your business matters.
Call us at 876-291-6233 or 876-376-4225. Email sales@batvja.com.
The fact of the matter is, most of what we use come from overseas. And I felt that if we could develop a range of cosmeceuticals, these are mainly things, cosmeceuticals, I said, cosmetics, skin care products, nutraceuticals, which are products that improves health through the types of food or medication that you can get, it would go a far way. So we developed a company and established a company called EG Wellness Brands. I don't know, some people know this, that the only company in the world that developed an instant porridge from sweet potato and yellow yam, we did it. And it's there doing very well out there. So it's that type of innovation that we have been looking at. And, you know, we have got a line of 12 teas that we develop, and the only line of what we call wellness teas. It's EG Wellness Brands teas that's there out there in the marketplace, doing well, export to North America and England. And what's even more, we have developed a number of medicinal plants we have identified and how they can be used, and clarified whether they are toxic or not, and so on. So it has opened up a whole new area of ID for us with our medicinal plants. We incidentally have 52% of all the medicinal established and recognized medicinal plants of the world, and we have not even started to exploit them. So Jamaica is blessed and we don't realize it. So I'm only hoping that what I've done with what I've done will be the baseline for others to build on, and we are hoping others will follow suit. And we're going to be soon, through the Biotech R&D Institute, be offering training programs that others can come in, because there's enough out there for everybody. One of my greatest pride and joy is to train young scientists so that they can go on and do some of what I've been doing or trying to do, because the matter of continuity is very important. Nobody can do everything in a lifetime, but you set the stage and have and hope others will take it on and take it forward. The other thing that I wanted to mention is Eden Gardens was set up in 1992 to promote health and wellness. And when it was set up at first, my friends, my family, everybody, crazy, what are you wasting your money doing this on? Who knows about health and wellness, and why are you doing that? And today, it's very successful. Matter of fact, we are looking at going to the stock market with it soon. And at Eden Gardens, we try to offer lifestyle and wellness services and products. We have 3 restaurants. We have got a spa. We are told we have the best spa in Jamaica, and it has all about innovations in spa therapy and what have you. We do a lot of weddings there. We have corporate functions. We have 3 restaurants, and we have a hotel where you can stay. We have 20 suites. And I could go on and on. So it's an oasis in its own way. And we are looking at spending more time and effort now to build out health and wellness tourism. We see ourselves as the leaders, and we are currently working on this. So when that new phase of tourism takes off, we will be in the leadership for that. Wealth to me is having enough financial resources to do the things that one would like to do whenever they wish to do it. That's my view of it. Is not having excess or being what people call rotten rich. No. I just having enough. If I can have enough financial resource to meet my needs, those I didn't say wants, my needs, I think I'm wealthy.
The Caribbean is a rich biodiversity hotspot. It has over 11,000 plant species, and about 72 of these are found only in this region. This richness also extends to the Caribbean people. Their traditional knowledge of the region's varied natural resources has integrated nature into the economic and health sectors worldwide. It has also drawn many to research and use the region's biodiversity for medicinal, cosmetic, and pharmaceutical purposes. For example, the glaucoma medication Canosol is made from cannabis. However, Caribbean islands have fallen prey to biopiracy, where a country's resources are accessed and developed commercially, but the country gets little or no benefit from it. As the world benefits from the Caribbean's biodiversity, countries need to be compensated for their commercial use. Lawmakers need to ensure that their countries are legally prepared to give access to and benefits from commercial use of genetic resources. To ensure prior informed consent and mutually agreed terms of access established by the Nagoya Protocol, the Global Environment Facility, GEF, United Nations Environment Program, UNEP, and the International Union for the Conservation of Nature, IUCN, are jointly providing support to countries at different levels in order to advance towards functional access and benefit sharing. Under the Nagoya Protocol, countries from which natural resources are obtained for commercial developments are entitled to compensation. It also ensures indigenous knowledge from groups such as the Maroons, Rastafarians, and Amerindians can be credited and compensated if their traditional knowledge has been used for commercial purposes. Caribbean islands are putting the Nagoya Protocol in their legislative framework to safeguard their country's biodiversity and traditional knowledge. Let us all work together to protect our resources, do valuable research, and reap the benefits of sustainable bioprospecting in the region.
The Jamaica Stock Exchange wishes to help to develop the social sector. To that end, they have formed the Jamaica Social Stock Exchange, which is a safe, efficient, and transparent platform that aims to promote social projects that build Jamaica and will inure to the benefit of all persons living in the country.
The Jamaica Stock Exchange is a company that encourages and mobilizes capital for the main market. And that is the market that is not the social sector. Now, the Jamaica Social Stock Exchange is really geared towards the social sector to help to solve social problems in the field of health, education, about children, environment. Those are some of the things that we consider social problems. And so it is to mobilize the capital, allow persons who have a desire to invest in a social good, to invest in the social stock exchange. It is designed in two parts. In phase one, where we look at social investment, and phase two, where we look at social impact investment. Now, in phase one, really what we are saying is it is donation. An organization will have a social issue and design it into a project or a program and invite Jamaicans or persons within the diaspora or the entire world to fund this program. Now in phase two, you're going to get a return on investment which is not social. You will be getting shares, natural shares, as you would get if you invested in the Jamaica Stock Exchange. And what you'll get is a return on capital, which is possibly dividend or an appreciation in that share. The Jamaica Social Stock Exchange does more than ask for the funding of these programs, but goes beyond that in terms of monitoring, ensuring that these programs are meeting the targets and the reason for them to have asked for funding in the first place. When we look at this new sector, it is important because holistically, if you do not look on the social sector, you do not improve the other sectors. We want to encourage all businesses in Jamaica to have a corporate social responsibility because it is good for encouraging and the growth and development of businesses.
You're watching Business Access TV.
Business Access TV.
Business Access.
Business Access TV.
Serious.
Serious.
Serious about business.
The Jamaica Stock Exchange celebrates 50 years of adding value to the Jamaican economy to personal and corporate investment portfolios. Tonight, the stock exchange looks back from 1969 to 2019, where it has been hailed the world's leading stock exchange. I'm Elon Parkinson. This is Business Access TV, serious about business.
Good evening, and welcome to the JSE's 50th anniversary cocktails and award ceremony. A round of applause, please. My name is Terry Carell Reed, and I stand here honored to be your MC for this evening for a number of reasons. Number one, for any company, whether domestic or international, to achieve 50 years is an indication of the stewardship, the vision, the innovation, and the adaptation throughout the years. Do you agree? It is also a reflection of the persons who stand behind the brand or the company. Those persons are the staff, the companies that listed, brokers, and of course, investors. Without all of you, none of this would be possible. Number two, I was swollen with pride when I opened the Bloomberg article and I saw, "Welcome to Jamaica, the home of the world's best performing stock market." And I clutched the pearls that I wasn't wearing and I said, "This is rich, real rich." I saw photos of Mrs. Street Forrest. I saw Mrs. Rita Humphreys Lewin. These were people that I've seen in my local newspapers, and I said, look at Jamaica. Very small, very obscure market. So I stand here honored to be the MC for a company that is a nation builder. Lastly, I'm happy to stand here because years ago I was financially illiterate. Saving, yes, because most of us as Jamaicans, that's what we do, right? We save, but we don't necessarily know about investment. And my best friend came to me and he said, "Terry, with all the saving that you've been doing, I think you should make your money work for you. I think you should invest." And I said, "But no, investment is for rich people, money people," which I'm not. But I'm grateful for my broker, Ryan Strong, who introduced me to the Jamaica Stock Exchange, introduced me to companies listed, and now I stand here with a portfolio that has moved from being very, 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 very conservative to being moderately risky. And on my daughter's 7th birthday, I awarded her, I should say, I gifted her her own portfolio. So you see, thank you very much. So I stand here not just as your MC for this evening, but I stand here as a very proud Jamaican. I stand here as a shareholder, and I stand here as an empowered citizen, changing the way my generation will think when it comes to handling and investing money. So thank you so very much for being here. We have a fantastic evening lined up for you.
It's with a sense of pride, nostalgia, and eager anticipation that I welcome you here this evening. As I contemplated my welcome to you, the single most important element of our journey, that's the 50th journey, that resonates with me is that since 1968, we have come this far through teamwork, perseverance, and a deep understanding of our mission. I believe it is an understanding rooted in the fact that the exchange's success is not singularly for shareholders, the government, or the financial community, but for the entire Jamaica. I did not have to go very far to find a poem, a quotable quote, or the words of some famous author to communicate what has been our reason for being for over these 50 years. As our jingle that one hears when you call the stock exchange says it all. 50 years of practicing transparency, integrity, and efficiency to protect and advance stakeholders' welfare, the Jamaica Stock Exchange. I know many people are familiar with that jingle. JSE for you and me, benefit from listing and investing, Jamaica Stock Exchange. This is a call that we have been making over the years to encourage investors, to encourage companies, to encourage Jamaica to see the stock exchange as the vehicle for wealth creation. It is through these principles and the rallying cry that we have weathered the storm and embraced the victories of being resolute and militant and becoming the Jamaica Stock Exchange triumphant in accomplishments, especially that of being named the best performing exchange globally for 2015 and 2018. Indeed, we are little but tallow. A journey of 50 years is a blessing. We thank God for the lessons learned, the experiences gained, and the wisdom that comes through the process of perseverance and tenacity. From a paper-covered meeting table at the Bank of Jamaica to an efficient computer-based network system that is linked into an electronic trading platform where transactions are automatically matched and settlements are processed in a paperless environment. And to our credit, we did that before the New York Stock Exchange. From being a private, closely held mutual company to becoming a demutualized exchange with publicly held and listed shares. We have consistently made progress, and our highest points were when we demutualized and listed our shares on April 1, 2008 and July 23, 2013, respectively, and when we launched the junior market on April 1, 2009. I paused for that because I think it was a signal moment. These occasions signal a new era. In the case of demutualization, we separated the regulatory arm of the exchange from the commercial functions so as to eliminate any perception of conflict of interest and to ensure a fair, orderly, and transparent market for shares and other securities traded on the market. This has brought a high degree of confidence to the market. In listing our shares on the exchange, we expanded our ownership base and subjected ourselves to the same rules and regulations governing other listed companies. And that was hard, because some of the times when you are regulating, you don't know how hard it is until you actually start doing it yourself. Finally, in launching the junior market, we provided greater access to capital, which encouraged and expanded investor base. These experiences have strengthened our core. The progress we have made was not achieved without setbacks and challenges, and the path we have clearly charted over the years for further expansion of the capital market locally, regionally, and globally is oftentimes slow and painful. However, our pledge to you going forward is that we will continue to seek out and deliver market opportunities in a deliberate and constructive manner, exercising good judgment as we seek to expand our markets. In the words of Coffee, I told you we are young. Gratitude is a must. We thank God for the journey, the earnings, and just for the plus. Gratitude is a must. Once again, welcome. I invite you to enjoy the rest of the evening's proceedings.
Thank you so very much for having us. And of course, gratitude is a must.
A journey of 50 years for the Jamaica Stock Exchange. When we come back, the awards.
Ready for cable for as little as $100? Ready for no monthly cable bill? Ready for 10 TV channels absolutely free? Then pick up our Ready TV box at authorized stores for $4,500. Hook it up to your TV set, then top it up with Ready Credit for 1, 7, or 30 days. Buy now and get $1,000 free Ready Credit and start watching your favorite shows. Pick it up, hook it up, top it up. Ready TV. Prepaid cable TV when you're ready. Now serving Kingston and St. Catherine. Limited time offer while stocks last. Conditions apply.
So we have now come to the awards presentation segment, and I invite the great Mr. Michael Anthony Cuff to join me on stage, and together we'll present the awards, which will be done in 3 categories. Please make him welcome. So we have 3 categories: the 60s, known as the formative years, the 70s to 90s, the shaping years, and the millennium, the technological era.
This is a period of ska music in Jamaica and the birth of the Jamaica Stock Exchange.
Absolutely. At this time, we pause to invite to the stage Mr. Ian McNaughton, chairman of the Jamaica Stock Exchange, who will present the awards to the recipients in this category. We begin with founding member. The first award is in recognition of his sterling contribution to the development and establishment of the JSE. He was a man of vision for the financial sector and was instrumental in helping to lay a solid foundation for the JSE in 1968, from which the exchange has grown strong, thanks to his early works and blessings over the years, even up to January 2019. He's dubbed by various names in Jamaica and across the world, but to the JSE, he's the architect and bridge builder of the Jamaica Stock Exchange. The JSE is proud to honor his name, his undeniable legacy, and his vision that formed the JSE to becoming the #1 stock exchange in the world, not once, but twice. Ladies and gentlemen, it is with great honor and humility that we wholeheartedly present the first and most deserving award to the late, most honorable Edward Seaga, former Prime Minister of Jamaica.
I invite you all to stand and join hands in applause as Mr. Edwin Mackey makes his way to collect the award on behalf of Mr. Seaga. We now move to the affiliated companies. Now, the second set of awards will be presented to 5 affiliated companies that were instrumental in contributing to the development of the JSE by providing persons to serve on the board. In no particular order. Terry?
The first award goes to the Institute of Chartered Accountants of Jamaica.
The second award goes to the Bank of Jamaica.
And the third award, the Ministry of Finance and the Public Service.
And award number 4 goes to the Private Sector Organization of Jamaica.
We move to the next category, listed companies since inception. The third set of awards will be presented to 6 companies that have been listed on the exchange since inception in ranking order of seniority. The first award goes to Panjam Investments Limited.
The second award goes to, I knew this organization, but it was just called the Bank of Nova Scotia Jamaica Limited. Now, these days, Scotia Bank Group Jamaica Limited.
The third award goes to the Caribbean Cement Company.
Award Number 4 goes to Carreras Limited.
And the 5th award goes to Salado Foods Jamaica Limited.
So the 6th award will be given to the Cleaner Company Limited.
And the 7th award goes to the Jamaica Public Service Company Limited. Okay, I don't believe we have a representative for JPSCO. So now we move to longest member dealer. Ladies and gentlemen, the award goes to NCB Capital Markets Limited, formerly known as Edward Gale and Company Limited.
In this segment, awards will be given to those who have built on the foundation of the JSE and assisted in its shaping by making significant contributions to its growth and development. Now, the first award goes to a remarkable woman who is the first and only female chairperson of a stock exchange in the Caribbean. She's also the longest-serving chairperson of the JSE, leading the Jamaica Stock Exchange in this capacity from 1984 to 1986, and again from 1995 to 2000. Ladies and gentlemen, I speak of none other than Mrs. Rita Humphreys Lewin.
So we now move to the longest serving board members. The second recipient of this award is the longest serving member of the JSE's board. This gentleman stands as the quiet colossus of the Jamaican stock market. Ladies and gentlemen, the award goes to Mr. Edwin Mackey, CD. The other awardee in this category goes to none other than Mr. Alvaro Casali, CDJP. This gentleman is the longest-serving board member of the Jamaica Central Securities Depository and the JCSD's Trustee Services Limited.
Our women are the backbone of our society. They deserve to be protected and respected. Domestic violence is not okay. Speak up and speak out. No more violence against women.
Through the years here at the Jamaica Stock Exchange's 50 years in service, let's go back to more awards.
Next, we have the third category. This is the millennium, the technology age. This category is to recognize those who contributed to the dynamics of catapulting into another age, the age of technology. Boy, I tell you. You know, these awards will be given to those who further continued to build bigger layers on what was already there, and who saw greater vision of possibilities as time evolved into another dimension. So we're going to now honor past chairman of the JSE. The first recipient is someone who was board chairman from 2000 to 2006. I speak of Mr. Roy Johnson, JP.
Let us hear it for the board chairman who served from 2006 to 2011, Mr. Curtis Martin.
We move next to the board chairman from 2014 to 2016, Mr. Alan Lewis.
The next two awards will be presented to the persons who served as general manager of the Jamaica Stock Exchange's subsidiary, the Jamaica Central Securities Depository, JCSD, since its inception in 2008. The first of the two awards will be presented to the general manager who served the JCSD from 2003 to 2004 and moved on to serve the JSE in a similar capacity and subsequently to an even higher capacity. Ladies and gentlemen, I speak of none other than Mrs. Marlene Street Forrest, CDJP.
The second and last award is being presented to the general manager who served from 2005 to 2017 and steered several ventures of the JCSD, including the birth of the JCSD's subsidiary, the JCSD's Trustees Services Limited. And that award goes to Mr. Robin Levy.
This segment of awards is for those dubbed the architects of the junior market. They helped to carve and mold the ins and outs of the junior market, and it would not be possible for the junior market to be established without them. In recognition of your sterling contribution to the development of the JSE's junior market, we recognize this gentleman, the Honorable Audley Shaw. The first company to be listed on the junior market of the Jamaica Stock Exchange is Access Financial Services Limited. Congratulations. We also have to recognize Senator Don Webby, who was instrumental in lobbying the government for the tax incentives. Mr. Stephen Whittingham, a board member of the JSE, will collect the award on behalf of Mr. Webby. We now recognize the steering committee of the junior market, beginning with Mr. Leo Williams. We'll move to another Williams, Mr. Christopher Williams. He is followed by Miss Judith Ramlogan. And last but not least, recognizing the members of the steering committee of the junior market, Mrs. Marlene Street Forrest.
Looking back to outstanding achievements by former general managers and chairpersons of the Jamaica Stock Exchange. Coming up next, the employees.
Sundays at 4:30 p.m. It's all about Home Sweet Home. Get your half-hour dose of the business of real estate, from laws and concepts to reality, building, buying, or renting. Or what about trends in decor or renovations? Home Sweet Home will keep you up to date.
You know, ladies and gentlemen, no organization can be built without the employees' contribution. And tonight, the Jamaica Stock Exchange takes great pleasure in recognizing its employees that have contributed to building the stock exchange over the years, which has led to the company receiving numerous awards and recognition, locally and globally. And for the stock exchange being named not once, but twice, in 2015 and in 2018, as the best performing stock exchange in the world. Ladies and gentlemen, please put your hands together for the staff of the JSE for contribution to the stock exchange 25 years and counting. This award goes to Mrs. Charlotte Eddie Nugent. For contribution, this now is for JSE 20 years and over. Number one, Mrs. Doreen Parsons Smith. Next we have Mrs. Suzette White. As we welcome our next recipient, Miss Suzette Price. Let's make welcome Miss Michelle Serdar. Up next, Mrs. Annette Paran Hedman. JSE has benefited handsomely, tremendously under her guidance and direction. I speak of none other than the inimitable Mrs. Marlene Street Forrest.
So we move on to the recipients, and we honor them for their contribution to the exchange 15 years and over. Beginning with Miss Suzette McNaught.
The next recipient in this category is Miss Ricalia Robb. Our next recipient is Mr. Byron Winter. He is followed by Mr. Neville Noble. And closing out the category 15 years and over is Miss Tracy Winter. So we move now to the contributors to the stock exchange 10 years and over. We begin with Mrs. Cadil McNaught Hermit. Let us hear it for Mr. Andre Tulloch. And he is followed by Mr. Neville Ellis. Let us hear it for Mrs. Angela Bailey. Mr. Michael Johnson. And rounding out this category 10 years and over is Miss Monia Hibbert.
Terry, I'm going to give your pipes a rest while I just take over here for the next category of JSE 5 years and over. Please put your hands together one more time for the staff of the world-class Jamaica Stock Exchange.
Ladies and gentlemen, this brings us to the end of your award ceremony. On behalf of Sir Michael Anthony Cuff and myself, congratulations on 50 years. We wish to see you do 100 and 100 and 100 more, and certainly keep on knocking down those barriers. And I'd love to keep on reading about our stock market doing and being the best. So ladies and gentlemen, thank you for your company. Thank you for your time.
We're with General Manager of the Jamaica Stock Exchange, Marlene Street Forrest. Indeed, an illustrious career, certainly with the Jamaica Stock Exchange, taking it to higher heights and global recognition. Your thoughts on the JSE at 50?
Well, the JSE at 50, we have come a far way, we're a long way. And you know, what we have done is we are in the digital age. And I'm pleased that we are properly positioned for the next 50. Because it is important that we see growth and continued development. And the JSE is here in Jamaica, but we are positioned for the world. Globally, we are making progress. And soon you will see more about us in terms of the digital age. Digital assets, we will be looking at things like short selling, margin trading, all of those things that are really critical to the growth and development of the company.
Giving fitting recognition to employees, the way to close out the 50th anniversary of the Jamaica Stock Exchange's awards. Indeed, a stellar event attended by the movers and shakers in Jamaica's financial industry. Thank you so much for watching. I'm Elon Parkinson for Business Access TV, serious about business.
Have you seen it? It's BATV Live. Live streams of business news weekdays at 7:30 p.m. Stay on point Thursdays at 8 p.m. with our Business Current Affairs show. And Weekend Business Report Saturdays at 7:30 p.m. Wherever you are. Log on to our Facebook page at Business Access TV or visit our website at batvja.com. Live and at your fingertips. Business Access TV. Serious about business.
The demands of the job can take a toll on members of the Jamaica Constabulary Force. As a result, the Non-Geographic Formations 2 Chaplaincy Services branch of the JCF Chaplaincy provides counseling to JCF members in various forms.
The chaplaincy primary focus is on the total man, spiritual, physical, and emotional. So it's a holistic approach that we have in terms of how we minister to the men and women in the ground. It is highly pastoral, and therefore spiritual care is very important. Secondly, their mental care, because we offer counseling, we offer crisis intervention, we offer grief counseling also, family counseling, we do counsel children. As I said, the spiritual core is important, and therefore our members, we provide devotions, and for funerals, we commit our members to include sometimes family members and also persons who are unsworn to the JCF. So those are basically the pillars in which the chaplaincy is based on. Your mobile reserve up to the 1st of April 2016, our chaplain to the JCF, Reverend Budu Fletcher, believed that he wanted to put together the units that are more operational. Those include Motorized Patrol Division, the Traffic Headquarters, K9 Division, Mounted Troop, and also Mobile Reserve. So all these units were brought together under one umbrella, and therefore is known as the Non-Geographic Formations 2 Chaplaincy Services Branch. Our service that we provide is for both sworn and unsworn members. So civilian staff, those who work within the JCF, we also provide services for them and their children also. So it's not only sworn police officers. If you're unsworn and you're within the family of a JCF, you simply make a call and to the respective, because we have 7 other assistant chaplains across the island, and therefore based on where you're based. But we're open. You make a call, make an appointment, and you can walk in, right? So that's our primary mode in terms of how we access counseling. The second one is that persons sometimes are referred to us, and these are persons who have critical cases, and they're referred by supervisors. So those are the 2 ways. They can walk in, call, or you may be referred to see us.
Anyone who seeks counseling can be assured that their confidentiality is guaranteed for the most part.
There's an intake form which speak to confidentiality, and it speaks to policy that surrounds confidentiality. That speaks to that we will not disclose anything under 2 circumstances. 1, if you're a threat to yourself or someone else, right? Or 2, we may use the information for training exercise. We're not calling name, but we may use it as an example. So those are the two reasons that we may breach confidentiality. But the one is the primary one, that once we suspect that you are a threat to yourself or someone else, we can't keep it as a secret. That is signed off at every session, and persons are cognizant of the policy before they enter into the counseling session. We have that community outreach arm in which we go to schools, we do speeches, we do motivational speeches, we do special devotions, we speak, I'm often called upon to speak at graduation services. So we are pretty open. Our staff is pretty trained, very competent in areas of public speaking, and therefore we're open to do that. And I believe it's a good way to brand the force, for persons to see police in a spiritual mode, so to speak. I must say that, say 10, 15 years ago, the persons were more skeptical of the services of the chaplaincy. But what you find, based on our approach and the trust factor, because once persons believe that what they say to you will remain in confidence, therefore they will be more open to do it. And I can say, based on our interaction, that our numbers have grown significantly. Persons are more open at this point to speak to us about their personal issues. There are some who are still reserved and will not say anything, but I'm pleased to where we are at now than we were, say, 10, 15 years ago.
Reverend Faulkner believes that one way to start problem solving is to reach out for help.
There's a common cliche that Jamaica, no problem. We have long passed that. There's so many issues and problems that we face as a nation. from the family to the street, in the community, at school. Every single day we have problems. But it's not so much about the problems that we have. It is how do we respond to our problems? Because we're not immune. I'm not immune of problems. But the advice today is that you need to accept when you're overwhelmed. No man is an island, no man is stand alone. And there are so many entities, so many institutions, to include the church, who are willing to offer help to you. And one of the things that we find in our society, that persons are closed. They're not as open enough to share. They'll be dying with their problems. And there's someone right next door and they don't know. I'm saying to us, let us seek out persons who are trained, the pastors, the counselors, even the policemen, even at the station that is in your community. Find someone that you can trust to share your problems with. And I'm almost sure that the answer is right at your doorsteps. So Jamaica, let's talk more, let us share more, because I know the answers are out there for you. Assistance is at your doorstep. Seek it out today.
Coming up on Caring Hands.
It gave us an opportunity to interact with our partner in a new way. You know, it's just something new and different, and I enjoyed myself immensely.
We are back with another exciting, innovative, and inspiring season.
It takes a lot of stick-to-itiveness, being consistent and persistent in whatever you're doing. That's the bottom line.
Business exists to add value to people's lives. And if we're not doing that, might as well we lock down the store and just call it a day.
It's a season 3 of Creating Wealth, Mondays at 8 p.m. on Business Access TV.
As a teacher for over 8 years, we need to realize that the children are our future. We need to love them, appreciate and respect our children. No more violence against children. No more!
Your business matters. Business Access TV offers you the most innovative and effective advertising solution for your business, specializing in B2B sales, cost-effective solutions, the customers you want, the repetition you need. No matter the size and nature of your company, your business matters.
Call us at 876-291-6233 or 876-376-4225. Email sales@batvja.com.
Various assignments cause members of the Jamaica Constabulary Force to be detached from their families for extended periods, and this can create a vacuum in family life. The yearly couples retreat is one activity used to strengthen the bond between members and their spouses.
Persons sometimes may not be open to walking, but they'll more come as a group, right? And therefore, we use those as our proactive interventions to reach and to deal with issues. So the couples retreat, we have had a number of cases, of domestic cases, whether marital or in a common law setting, where there are relational issues. And we believe, starting 3 years ago, that we need to have an event to deal with those issues in terms of how do they communicate, their intimacy, finance, because those are the core problems, right? So the couples retreat was earmarked to mitigate against some of the problems or issues that most of our couples would have faced in a relationship. And I'm telling you, it has been an overwhelming experience so far. We went to the cool hills of Cardiff Hall in St. Anne, that's Runaway Bay, Cecile Bridal Garden Centre. And let me just underscore how much we are grateful for support to have hosted this event. It was very tranquil, out of the busyness and the hustle and bustle of the corporate area. And I can tell you, it was well received by our participants.
One couple that can attest to the success of the couples retreat is Corporal Ricardo Lee and his wife Erica Lee.
It was a wonderful experience. It wasn't our first event of this nature, but it was so wonderful. We started off with devotion, both of us, we had devotion and we conducted devotion and we got the group off to a lovely start. You know that it is always important to have God first in everything that we do, especially at chaplaincy. And so both of us started devotion and it was lovely, it was well received.
For me it was quite fun, it was relaxing. Like Mr. Lee said, Corporal Lee, we started the day with devotion, but away from that, the ambience was just beautiful. The entire setting was relaxing. You know, it gave us an opportunity to interact with our partner in a new way. You know, it's just something new and different, and I enjoyed myself immensely.
Of the 26 couples in attendance, 9 couples participated in the renewal of vows.
Yeah, this was an amazing experience, I can tell you. Far exceeded our expectations. There was a lot of activities from the moment that we went on the bus straight until we came off the bus. It was really memorable. They gave us the opportunity to really get to connect with our spouses, really get to know each other a lot more, things that we didn't know before. I don't know, you tell me this.
Yeah, it was really a good experience, you know, and what is important is that the whole function and everything, it's centered around God, you know, and He is the reason for all of this, so we're eternally grateful.
Yeah, yeah.
And you have a scripture that I will finish with. It says in Songs of Solomon, many waters cannot quench love, neither can the floods drown it. So if you really love your partner, nothing can destroy you.
We have been married 4 years, going 5, and it was almost like our wedding day all over again. The only thing that was missing was the beautiful dress, you know, but it was very good.
Yeah, it was a lovely experience. You know, many times we serve and we consider our members who serve. Sometimes, based on the nature of the job, they don't get the time off to really find the opportunity to rekindle the spark in a relationship. And so through chaplaincy, it was an opportunity for members, for couples to come together and to get some time off, as a theme said, intimate escape. So kind of escaping the world of work and rekindling the spark of our love. And so even from a chaplaincy perspective, where I serve, we believe in leading from the front. And you would have seen the chaplain and his wife, they are also being involved and engaged in the activities. And so we came along not only to rekindle and to build on what we have, but also to support our members as they too rekindle their relationship.
That's when I say escape the world a bit. Yeah. Escape the world of work, you know, because you had a lot of fun. And we did a lot of games, we played a lot of love games. We had quite a few. We didn't participate in any cause, you know, but overall it went well. It went very well.
In order to keep events such as the couples retreat running smoothly, Corporal Lee has this suggestion.
We would appeal to sponsors because an event like this, we cannot do it without sponsorship. And so we want to encourage persons to support the chaplaincy so that initiatives like these can be replicated, because many times we have the ideas, we're not short on ideas, but the financial backing many times are left wanting. And so we just want to encourage persons to come on board with us in providing whatever support, if it may be expertise, financial support, or whatever kind of support they can give.
Coming up on Caring Hands.
We want our women to really strive for excellence and also to appreciate the value of life. There's so many stress and problems around. We just want to take them from that for one day.
Business current affairs you can relate to. Frank, credible discussion. On point, dissecting the issues. Offering solutions to Jamaica's challenges. On Point, Thursdays at 8 p.m. on Business Access TV.
The business community has suffered tremendously due to extortion. Some have not just lost their businesses, their jobs, but lost their lives. This is extremely impactful to the growth of our country and to the progress of our people. We are our brother's keeper. Let's put a stop to this. No more use of force. No more use of fear. No more extortion. No more.
It's season 12, and Wealth Magazine Business Access is here to keep you business savvy. With an impressive mix of some of Jamaica's most inspiring business moguls, we continue to keep Jamaica informed, empowered, and ready to dominate. Tune in Sundays at 5 p.m. only on BATV.
You're watching
Business Access.
Business Access.
Business Access.
Business Access TV.
Serious about business.
One event aimed specifically at empowering the women of the Jamaica Constabulary Force is the Non-Geographic Formations 2 Chaplaincy Services Branch Women's Conference, which was first held in 2016.
It was an impactful day. Our women all dressed in white. It was an all-white affair and a touch of pink. And they came out in their numbers. The ministry and the testimonies and our guest speakers, they're on point. Dr. Donna Hope, on point. Jenny, boy, the ladies had a wonderful time in this all-white affair, right? And the theme, I think the theme was so resounding, keeping it real, reaping excellence, appreciating life. We saw them, attaining that point of excellence. And we saw them also valuing and appreciating life. So we may just do it again next year, you never know. But I'm very pleased of the outcome of that event.
What I wanted to be, I thought of myself as a mighty man, but I can't feel my walk without you holding my hand. Sing with me.
The purpose of the Men's Conference, what happened last year, we held our first Men's Conference. And as you know, our ladies are a little jealous. And person will say, listen, we need to focus on our women also. And therefore, for this year, we postponed having a Men's Conference, and we tried to address the issues that faced our women, right? From the family to work to their financial aspirations. And therefore, we brought in, I believe, the best of the best in terms of speakers. As we have coined it, powerful women ministering or empowering police women. And that is what we want to empower them to be their best. Whether they're mothers on the police, in their finances, in their health, that is our objective. And I believe that we would have achieved our objectives. We want our women to really strive for excellence and also to appreciate the value of life. There's so many stress and problems around. We just want to take them from that for one day.
The chaplaincy walks on two legs, the reactive leg and the proactive leg.
The reactive leg is if a police is shot, injured, was killed or murdered, we pay the family the visit, we do the funerals, we do the grief counseling, the crisis counseling, Those things are things that we can't avoid. But there's what is known as a proactive leg, where we create programs, right, to mitigate against many of the issues that they face. As was mentioned earlier, the couples retreat and the women's conference. We do have also what we call a back to school clinic, where we invite the children of policemen and also unsworn members for one day, where we do interventions from the psychological, the spiritual, and emotional. And that usually is the second to last week in August. And we do it every year. It is said that police and pastors' children are not always the best children because we are so committed in dealing with other issues. So we, as a chaplaincy, we wanted to be proactive, and therefore we invite the children for one day to provide a ministry for them. It takes cash to care, and as you know that there's constraints with the budget, and therefore the police budget alone cannot support or drive or sustain the programs within chaplaincy. But we're thankful for the corporate Jamaica, who have always been supportive. And there are some that I just have to name them, who have always been there for us. We have Sagicor, we have Scotiabank, we have Oran, we have Jamaica Police Credit Union, we have the National Security Employees Co-op Credit Union, we have VMBS, we have Garden Life, we have Cecile Bridal, and of course our Police Federation. I just want to say thank you for your support to our initiatives. There is a myth or a fallacy that because of what we do as law enforcement officers, our exposure, over time persons believe that we are not human beings. We're mechanical. I can remember retired Superintendent Ramsey Nelson, one of my mentors, who said to me that when she was on duty, some children stopped her to touch her, because they wanted to feel if she was a real person. And you find that psyche still exists with our communities. I want to underscore this point to the nation, that when you see a policeman or woman in uniform, whether in your community, on traffic duty, an operation, I want to underscore that these are husbands, brothers, uncles, nephews. These are real persons. They go to supermarkets too. They pay taxes. They pay JPS like you. And I'm saying we feel the same pain that you face. But understand this, that there's a line drawn in terms of law and order. And many times we sometimes do not want to embrace them to do their work freely. I'm saying to you, treat them with respect. And I want to hold our officers that they will treat the citizenry with the same utmost respect as they do. So please, be kind and courteous as we continue to be kind and courteous to you also.
I wanted to be an educator because I believe that education is the most powerful weapon that can change the world.
My dreams and aspiration is to one day become an entrepreneur where I can employ other persons and help to build the country.
I wanted to go into development. I wanted to help people become better versions of themselves. Growing up, I saw a lot of violence, I saw a lot of crime, I saw a lot of poverty. The challenges are so many. The first one that comes to mind is the level of youth unemployment that's here.
Challenges that exist here in West Prospect Bogwalk are lack of awareness for educational opportunities or job opportunities.
Not many got a chance to do CXC or graduate from the secondary level. So that's a major setback for the people living in the community.
A way to alleviate this issue is training programs.
They need more opportunities, like to go back to school to get themselves a certificate so they can be able to work and create employment for themselves and their family.
Push more entrepreneurship opportunity, encourage these youths to be creative and innovative in what they do. Give them startup capital to start their business. Invest more in the youth skills and talents.
The poverty reduction program is funded by the European Union, and it really is a program that focuses on the most vulnerable type of communities, making communities safer, making citizens more healthy, better access to education.
For European Union, investing in youth is an obvious choice. They are the future of the country. If we prepare them well, they will bring the change that Jamaica needs. That's why we invest in scholarships, internship, training in life skills and mentorship.
I received a tertiary scholarship from PRP to attend the University of Technology Jamaica. It meant a lot to me because I realized that somebody else believed in me and somebody saw the potential that I have and somebody believed that I could actually achieve my goal.
I benefited by getting firstly an internship, and also they assisted my bachelor's degree financially. But critically, outside of the finances, the persons that were on the project, you know, the motivation that they provided, etc., it really provided a huge boost.
This is my third year at the MICO. This scholarship, it helped me to be able to focus only on my education here, because tertiary education is not cheap.
I was placed at ODPEM on the one-year internship program. It was really good. It was an opportunity for me to prove myself, to give myself a service, and also to gain experience in the working world, and to also provide for my family.
I plan to be an agent of change in my community by being a mentor, a leader, and a godfather for the youths growing up. Try to help them teach them a trade.
You don't have to be rich to help. You don't have to achieve greatness to start. I contributed to my basic school by providing them with the necessary resources that they need, that I believe that in the long run it will have a ripple effect on many, many persons.
Professionally, I manage the whole program, which is aimed at giving young persons the opportunity to, do what I did, basically, to get their foot inside an organization. Additionally, I also have a little small business that I try to employ young persons to learn a skill, etc.
When you're persistent in life, when you're determined, when you're hungry for success, then you'll be able to accomplish and achieve anything that you want.
It has changed hundreds and hundreds of lives. Not just my life, my family lives, my friends' lives, etc. I want to just urge everyone looking on to continue these social programs. These are the solutions to the many ills that we face as a society and as a country and even as a world. So thank you, and I challenge you, continue it. It's needed.
They say it takes a village to raise a child, but the world will one day need the leadership of that child. The time you spend with your child matters. It stimulates their minds and shapes the way they act. Talk with your children. Help them to better understand the world around them and to value what is truly precious. Above all, the most valuable gift you can give them is love. Play, talk, teach, love. Take the time. It makes all the difference. A message from the Parenting Helpline and Ad Council Jamaica.
Ready for cable for as little as $100? Ready for no monthly cable bill? Ready for 10 TV channels absolutely free? Then pick up our Ready TV box at authorized stores for $4,500. Hook it up to your TV set, then top it up with Ready Credit for 1, 7, or 30 days. Buy now and get $1,000 free Ready Credit and start watching your favorite shows. Pick it up, hook it up, top it up. Ready TV. Prepaid cable TV when you're ready. Now serving Kingston and St. Catherine. Limited time offer while stocks last. Conditions apply.
is Diane Plummer and I'm the CEO of True Shade Cosmetics Limited. I was studying mechanical engineering in Sweden, and as a black woman living in a predominantly white population, it was very difficult for me to find makeup for my own skin tone. So most times when you go to the department stores or you go to the pharmacies there, all the shades for the black girls have finished because very few black women are there rushed to get all the different shades. So having a background in chemical engineering, I just decided, you know, I should be able to make my own makeup. So I started to do some personal researching and then started to develop makeup right there in my dorm room. The business actually started in 2013, the research aspect of it. So I did research for about 1 year and then I officially started making products in 2014. True Shade Cosmetics Limited actually started with making foundations and loose powders. Then I decided to start making other products that are generally found in a cosmetics line. So I started with the bronzers, the blush, and then I did the eyeshadows and other supporting products. Now I also started in skincare because I believe that you should definitely take care of the skin beneath the makeup. So, you know, everybody wants this whole flawless finish, but what happens when you wipe that makeup off? You still want to feel like, oh yes, I have a flawless skin. So I started skincare products as well. The skincare line consists of several masks and serums. There's also face wash, and I use as much local ingredients as possible. So I take advantage of aloe vera. I mean, our grandmothers have always told us that aloe vera is very good for the skin. I also use a lot of lemongrass, coconut, and of course our hemp. It's very, very good. Another interesting product that came up out of a personal need for me was my translucent mousse. So I have very oily skin, and back home in Jamaica now the place is hot and I'm sweating and I'm shiny. So I wanted something that could give me a nice matte finish. So I came up with a translucent mousse, which is basically threefold. You can wear it alone, you know, to give it that nice cool look that we all want sometimes. And it gives you, you know, it just zaps away the oil from your face. And it's something that I'm really, really proud of, and it's actually one of my best sellers as well. I want True Shade to be a natural line, something that uses a lot of local ingredients as well. And a lot of the natural products are suitable for persons who have sensitive skin and eczema. So another thing that I want to be at the forefront of my line is the fact that vegan products. So I don't use any kind of animal testing at all, and I'm actually submitting documents to a UK agency to ensure that I have that cruelty-free stamp on all my products. So I'm an animal lover, and I definitely believe in saving the bunnies, and you know, a lot of these tests that they use on animals is it's a bit cruel. So in going for cruelty-free status, I know I'll be, you know, saving an animal somewhere, right? And also appealing to, you know, persons who are also animal lovers. So I cater to persons of not only sensitive skin, but for all skin types and tones. So I wanted your True Shade to be very personalized for everyone. So there's about 23 different shade formulations that exist. And out of those 23, there are about 8 active shades in Jamaica. I also do custom shade formulations for persons who have difficulty finding their correct shade of makeup. And generally that's for persons on both ends of the spectrum. So very, very light skinned persons and very, very dark skinned persons always have a difficulty finding their correct shade. So I cater to basically everyone because the products are made in-house, so we do customizations as well. Since 2013 up until the middle part of 2016, it was all funded out of pocket. So it was money from my savings and of course family members, close friends who were able to, you know, maybe let's say buy a mixer for me, purchase some ingredients, things like that. So it all started out of pocket and, you know, with friends and family. And in the latter part of 2016, I was awarded the Ignite grant from the Development Bank of Jamaica, and that would be used to procure more upgraded equipment and also packaging, and to just refine the whole look and feel of the brand, and also increase the capacity, production capacity. As a new company, it will take some time before you actually start seeing the profits, but I think it's in a very good position, because my vision for Your True Shade is for it to be the leading brand in cosmetics in the Caribbean and its diaspora. And of course, the diaspora spans all across the globe. So I do, in my future, I do see great profitability for my company. Currently, products are available at Discount Beauty in Kings Plaza. We also have selected products available at Rev Jewelry. There's Divine Living Essentials in Montego Bay. And we recently wrapped up discussions with Fontana to have products in the Fontana locations in Kingston and Montego Bay. We also have products in Barbados at Welsh Wear. And there's a small section in Japan where a Jamaican lady that's there, she actually buys products from me to sell over there in Japan. And of course, my e-commerce website, yourtrueshade.com. Persons can buy products all across the world. It started out as a one-woman show, right? But I get help from my brother, and I recently got 2 interns thanks to JSIF. So Kenisha and Tashika they just joined me, so they helped me with not only the makeup application aspect, but also in the production side as well. I think it's a pretty good atmosphere where, persons, they can share different ideas. If something is wrong, then they can say something. So it's a very open door kind of policy that I have. And, I really want that, because I'm growing as an entrepreneur, and they're also growing in their different careers, and they may see something that I don't see, and I can also impart knowledge to them as well. So it's a field where we both learn from each other. Well, because I also lecture chemical engineering at UTech, my days are structured where I lecture about 15 hours a week at UTech, and the remaining hours I would work, whether it's in production, whether it's, liaising with suppliers, making sure that the stores have products. So my typical day, when I'm working with True Shade, would start off with me making my to-do list. What are the things that I need to get done today? Who are the persons I need to call? What's the social media looking like? Things like that. And I also try to delegate certain activities so I can work more on my business. I'm the kind of person where when I'm working on something, I just dive straight into it. And because of that, certain things may get left behind. So, for me, striking that balance was always a bit difficult, because, I've been known to be a workaholic. So what I've decided to do, and what I've started doing, is to block out certain periods of my calendar that are just my time, and nobody can touch my time. True Shade cannot touch my time when it's on those specific days, because balance is very important. And even though yes, you want to work a lot on the business, you still need to make time for the persons who have been there for you, and family and friends, and go and socialize, things like that. So I block out selective times in my calendar for those kinds of activities.
Have you seen it? It's BATV Live. Live streams of business news weekdays at 7:30 p.m. Stay on point Thursdays at 8 p.m. with our Business Current Affairs show, and Weekend Business Report Saturdays at 7:30 p.m. wherever you are. Log on to our Facebook page at Business Access TV or visit our website at batvja.com. Live and at your fingertips. Business Access TV. Serious about business.
Career Moves has always explored interesting careers, highlighting all you may not have known about them. This season is no different.
Coming back to Jamaica, everyone's like, fizzy what? Fizzy who?
When you find a bright boy or girl in the class and people say, what are you going to be? The parents will say, you have to go be a doctor, you have to go be a lawyer. Nobody says you have to go be a politician.
Let me see your hands!
Tune in Tuesdays at 8 p.m. on Business Access TV.
So there are several different products in the line, and of course we started out with our foundation. So it offers medium to full coverage, and it has concealing properties and also SPF 15. So even though we do have our sunscreen, you still get some amount of protection from the foundation itself. So what makes True Shade unique is the fact that it's suitable for persons with sensitive skin and eczema. So that's the main reason why I started the line as well, because I also have very sensitive skin. I have very bad eczema. So whenever I would use certain brands, I would get a little breakout here and there. So I wanted something that would not irritate my eczema and something that would offer me good coverage and very light and breathable. So that is what separates your True Shade from any other brands out there. I generate new ideas by looking at what's there in industry. You have to keep up to date with what's happening in industry. So I would research, let's say from in the latter part of, let's say last year, what are the upcoming 2017 makeup trends? And then I would start working on things like that. What are the spring trends, summer trends, winter and fall? So, you know, just keep abreast of what is happening in industry. When I just started, of course, I didn't have any customers. So I started to go to some of these trade shows, the different events where I could rent a booth, rent a table space. And once I'm there, I basically have my computer, or I would have a tablet, and my assistant or myself would collect data from persons, and I would send them a newsletter, send them a WhatsApp as to what's happening, and then we'll basically grow the business from there. We also make a lot of use of social media as well, or Instagram or Facebook, and I do corporate visits because that's very important for me, because going into the working world, the persons are there, those are the persons who basically have the spending ability. So I do a lot of corporate visits to different companies as well. One of the main challenge that I had was, I mean, I know most entrepreneurs, they say that financing is the major problem. Yes, that is a major problem, but I'm gonna also talk about something else. One of the other major problems that I had was to get persons to believe in the brand, to basically buy into the brand. So, you know, that is very difficult to convince persons, and a lot of Jamaicans, they're very set in their ways. You know, as it's a lot of consumers, you know, they're used to a particular brand. What sets you apart from, you know, the other brands that they're used to for, let's say, 5-10 years. So that's, you know, that has been a bit difficult for me. But once someone sits in my chair and they try the product, they're sold. They love it. So, and then I'll be able to, you know, grow the brand from there. As with any new product, I mean, sometimes it may be a hit and miss. So you have to keep revamping as you go along. So maybe when I just started making some of my foundations, maybe they didn't have enough coverage and things like that. But then you learn along the way from reviews, from clients, reviews from, you know, other makeup artists who have used it. And then I was able to further develop and work on it so that it can not only, you know, stand true to being something for sensitive skin and eczema, but also be able to give you that nice flawless finish that they would have been used to wearing, you know, with their other makeup brands. So, I mean, I've learned from it by just trial and error and customer feedback as well. I mean, we're all human, we're all prone to making mistakes, right? So let's say, you know, something happens with a product and a client calls me about it. Then, you know, I would, you know, of course, apologize for the inconvenience. And then I would, let's say, maybe I'd offer them a free gift, or, you know, let's say a 10% discount on future purchases and things like that. So that's how I try to do my damage control if there's any mistakes or mishap with products. So one of the things that I really want to do is to have an expansion into the different parishes, because, you know, for me to stay true to my vision in being the leading cosmetic brand of the Caribbean, I would need to basically penetrate the different areas of the Caribbean, right? So my strategy is to, you know, market penetration, going into the different islands, through the different trade shows, things like that. There are selective shows that I like to go to. So let's say Jamaican made Christmas in December, that was very successful for me. Also Collection Moda as well. And there are different companies often have their wellness expos. I tend to love doing corporate events, as I had said before. And of course, I always try to reach out to media personnel to, let's say, to see if they want me to be on their morning program, a feature in the newspapers, things like that. So I try to use all media, all marketing platforms as well. I mean, I'm willing to, work very hard in my business, doing what's best for the business as well, regardless. And, to basically ensure that I stand true to what my vision is, which is to be the leading cosmetic brand of the Caribbean and its diaspora. So I'm willing to do whatever it takes, working very hard, maintaining the customer relations as well, doing my networking with different companies and individuals and different organizations as well. I do believe that there is a structure or a pattern to being a successful entrepreneur. So the main thing for that is to just be resilient, never give up. No matter how many persons tell you no, that can lead you, that's just mean you're closer to someone telling you yes. And even if, persons keep telling you no, just once you believe in yourself and, seek out all the options that are there, try and network with persons, try and get a mentor, things like that, then you will definitely be on a path to success. Success for me is being able to help others, because using a business such as a beauty care business, you're helping persons to basically accentuate their beauty, to feel a lot better about themselves. So success for me is to helping others to feel better about themselves. I like to channel whatever I'm feeling into making something, into doing something. So if I'm feeling a fear that, okay, maybe this is not going to be successful, then I work a lot harder on it. So I just try to channel whatever I'm feeling into, let's say, creating a new product, creating a new look, coming up with something new. So I try to channel whatever I'm feeling, even if it's fear.
The business community has suffered tremendously due to extortion. Some have not just lost their businesses, their jobs, but lost their lives. This is extremely impactful to the growth of our country and to the progress of our people. We are our brother's keeper. Let's put a stop to this. No more use of force. No more use of fear. No more extortion. No more.
Cameo brings the creative industries to life, highlighting creatives in different fields each week. Art.
My life runs art. I breathe, I eat art.
Fashion. Food.
Without a customer, we're nothing but four walls.
Music. Film. Cameo, only on Business Access TV.
There's only one recommendation for funding that is ever going to come from me, and that is funding from a bank.
This is the cost to build, and it includes every nail and screw for the building.
Our motto is building communities, building a nation.
Get in the know with the world of real estate with Business Access TV's Home Sweet Home, Sundays at 4:30 p.m.
Different skin cleansers that I spoke about. This one is our red clay skin cleanser. So it's basically like a face detox. So it's a foaming cleanser. So you won't have to worry about, lathering itself. It actually already comes in the airless pump that can already give you the foam. I'm motivated by being, a pioneer of something. So being the first person to actually start a makeup line in Jamaica that is actually made here, that's such a good thing. It's a good feeling to know that, okay, I'm written somewhere down in history. So, I'm motivated by being a pioneer and, of course, helping other persons as well. I know this is going to sound very typical, but I think my greatest inspiration is definitely my mother. There are days when I feel like, oh, I just can't do this anymore in terms of, trying to get persons to buy into the brand. And she's like, Diane, don't let me ever hear you say that again. She got really upset with me thinking something like that. So, she is, a very good inspiration for me. And, she gives me a lot of motivation and to keep pushing because, as entrepreneurs, we're supposed to be resilient. And it's good that, you can have persons to rely on. There are days when you feel like, boy, you just really can't be bothered with this. And to have someone there who is a family member, close friend, who can basically push you along, is a very good feeling. And my favorite aspect of being an entrepreneur right now is basically meeting all these different kinds of persons and, being able to share the brand with other persons, get insight from them. And, for me, just being able to meet other persons and, just learn from other persons, especially older persons or older, not only in terms of their age, but also in terms of their life as a business person. And, for them to relate to you tips, things that you should really look out for. For me, it's a very important thing. I would basically attribute my growing success, because I'm not there yet, I'm on my way, to, having a good support system and also to, my belief in God, to know that everything will work out as long as I push forward, and do my part, then, God will do the rest as long as it's what I'm supposed to be doing. So I basically, I commit my business to God and say, Lord, just use this to the greater glory and honor of your name. And, having a good support system from family and close friends, that's also very important for me. The most satisfying moment thus far is being a recipient of the 2016 DBJ grant, which would definitely grow my business and take it to the next level, take it to where I definitely see your true shade. So I can basically get upgraded packaging to create all the wonderful makeup that's out there, not just the foundations, powders, but to create my own eyeshadows, things like that. Also to get cutting-edge equipment that can increase my capacity and being able to supply the Caribbean, European countries, Asia. That's what I want. My hobbies, currently I wanted to have a more balanced lifestyle, because before I was such a workaholic, working so much, doing the lecturing at UTech and doing true shade stuff and forgetting about taking care of myself sometimes. So with blocking out my calendar, I can say, okay, I started Sprite training, so I've started the gym. Working out is a very good feeling, and once I push my body a lot, then I'll be able to say, okay, there's nothing I can't do. There's no stress that's there that I haven't felt, in the gym. So that's something that's new for me. I also spend quality time with my family and close friends, maybe going for a drink, going to dinner, and just sitting at my mommy's place and just lying down on her bed and just chatting and joking with my two brothers, things like that. Yeah, what makes me happy is basically knowing that my mother is okay, knowing that I will be able to take care of her and so on. Another thing that makes me happy is traveling. I love to travel. I've been to almost all of the European countries and I want to travel a lot around Asia and things like that. So traveling makes me very happy. The sacrifice that I had to make to, get my company to move to where I want it to be, because I'm not there yet. The first one was to basically get up and leave Jamaica and decide to go into a foreign country that I don't know anyone. And, if I didn't make that initial step, then there would be no your true shade at this moment. So I think that is one of the major sacrifices I had to do, leave my job, and go to a foreign country. Being here, back home in Jamaica, the sacrifice that I still have to make is to, you know, a lot of times friends call you up, oh, you know, let's go here. And I'm like, you know, I really can't because I need to work on this project in my company. You know, sacrificing a lot of these personal time, especially in the initial stages, you know, sacrificing in terms of, you know, saving the money, because the money that I can use to go to a very expensive party, or, you know, that could basically buy me some nice packaging, that could buy me some ingredients. So a lot of those sacrifices I had to make in the initial stages because my funding came straight out of pocket to actually start a company. So of course I had to make a lot of sacrifices financially for it to happen. My future plans for True Shade would be to basically have an expansion into the different areas of cosmetics, because currently I don't make all the things that you would find in a cosmetic line. So I want to be able to make all these things right here in Jamaica so that, you know, I can say your True Shade basically has all the things that are necessary in a cosmetic line. Not only the foundation and the powders, bronzers and blushes, but to move into the mascaras, pencils, all these things, and just to see my brand out there, and you know that everybody will be using everything from the line, from the skincare part to the makeup section. So my advice to any person who is desirous of starting a business is to, you know, basically narrow in as to what exactly you want to do. What would be your target market, right? Come up with a plan. I love to make my little to-do list. I like to make my little plans, and I have so many different books that have so many things written down in them. So it's just to come up with a clear plan, seek advice from persons. So one of the things that I did when I came back to Jamaica was to seek out all the different agencies that are out there. I went to JBDC. I was able to get business advice. I found out about the Branson Center of Entrepreneurship and became one of the Branson entrepreneurs, and that was a very excellent program for me. I also sought out the Jamaica Manufacturers Association, and because I'm a manufacturer, they would basically guide me as to what are the things I need to do as it relates to customs, as it relates to trade board, things like that. Join other organizations, for example, the Women's Entrepreneurship Network of the Caribbean. So anywhere that you can go that you can get a lot of information about developing not only as a business person, but developing as an individual, and you can basically network with other persons as well. So once you come up with a clear idea, seek out how you can achieve these, and then make sure that you join different associations and meet with different persons as well.
Ready for cable for as little as $100? Ready for no monthly cable bill? Ready for 10 TV channels absolutely free? Then pick up our Ready TV box at authorized stores for $4,500. Hook it up to your TV set, then top it up with Ready Credit for 1, 7, or 30 days. Buy now and get $1,000 free Ready Credit and start watching your favorite shows. Pick it up, hook it up, top it up. Ready TV. Prepaid cable TV when you're ready. Now serving Kingston and St. Catherine. Limited time offer while stocks last. Conditions apply.
Caring Hands Season 3 continues to effect change in a changing environment.
Many of us were raised by grandmothers, right? So, I mean, we know the wisdom that these people have.
Going beyond business.
The little leaders of today are our leaders of tomorrow. And with the proper education, we'll have very good leadership coming from that.
That's Season 3 of Caring Hands.